Hello and welcome to Gingerman. Finally, we are here on the Shale Trail. When I came to Winchburgh today, I was like, I can't mind where this starts. I can't mind, but it was a year and a half ago I was here, but it all came flooding back to me as I got to this sign. Now, I've been a bit sick recently, a bit ill, really busy, so I'm not going to be walking the entire route. I have my car with me, however, I've strategically placed it in sections just to move this along a bit, because I want to get it done and I don't want to run out of time and not really have a shale trail. So here it is today. I begin at the Shale Trail. It's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's absolutely roasting. I've left my car further down the trail. So anyway, let's just get into it straight away. Shale Trail, show me what you got. Peace.
I'll turn on the camera, test my microphone, firing up the podcast, sound waves coming to your home. Gingerman with a cam is here to make your day. Gingerman with a cam, I'd like to hear you say today.
So I'm doing it reverse wise. So I'm starting at Winchburgh. So we're going to walk all the way down here past these bings. We remember these into Broxburn. That's where I was born. All the way down here through to Livingston and all the way to West Calder. That's the plan. As I said, I've got the car strategically placed, but I'm excited to get going on this because I've anticipated it for so long. I've been expecting to do this and the weather is perfect today. Discover stories of prehistoric lakes, how shale became oil, and the people at the heart of Scotland's oil boom on this fascinating 60-mile journey between West Calder and Winchburgh. Or that should be Winchburgh to West Calder. It's going to get warm today, and I'm hoping to stop somewhere to get a chippy as well on the Shale Trail, probably about Livingston, Broxburn, I don't know, just whenever I get hungry. Beds working shifts. Beds working shifts. I'm already walking into a treat. There's some live bowls going on here at Winchburgh Bowling Club. Classic. Just having your washing hanging out in the park. There's nothing that says strong community than just having communal washing lines. I love it. And we have a beautiful park right in the heart of the Shale Trail. I think you're kind of in and out in Winchburgh really quickly. They don't really get a full sense of Winchburgh through the Shale Trail because it is, as I say, the end or start point depending on where you want to go from. There we go, we're leaving the park. Shale Trail, this way, towards the cemetery. It's not a day out without a visit to a cemetery, is it? It's just a nice wee compact cemetery. But it's always nice to stop and reflect on life and death. Anyway, as I come up here actually I can see one of the bings, and I guess that's what today's all about. Well, it's not all about bings, but it's about the Shale Trail, and the bings are the feature that you notice and part, kind of the visible part that's left over from the shale industry. Kind of glad I came up here. There's a nice wee high point view. I remember now there's a golf course over there and there's a wee castle in between it. You can't really get to it. So what I see here is we stopped at the cemetery. I might get the drone up because then we're on sort of country paths all the way to Broxburn. So we'll continue on this way down towards the canal. I just had the drone up and I mean, firstly, glorious day, but you can see how the road where the Shale Trail swings round the Bings heading west towards Broxburn. We're finally meeting up the Union Canal, which will follow all the way to Broxburn. Oh look, we've done this in a while. Tag. Oh, tag. There Winchburgh that way, Broxburn this way. How many miles? 2.5 kilometres. It's easy because I've got a car. So I know what you're thinking, what is shale? I'm asking the same question. Well, here we go. Luckily the beautiful West Lothian Shale Trail website has all the information. So imagine standing in West Lothian 340 million years ago. Lothian was very different then. I'd hope so. So let's try to paint a world picture of where our wee bit of Scotland was like then. Scotland wasn't in the northern hemisphere where we are today. We lay around the equator, so much hotter. So it would have been quite hot and humid. I just said that. To the north and west lay the Caledonian Mountains, stretching from Scandinavia across Scotland to the Appalachians, that's in America. The Atlantic Ocean hadn't opened yet. To the south and the east lay the tropical sea, teeming with life. The Lothians was in a place twixt land and sea on a wide coastal plain, occasionally inundated by the sea as sea levels rose and fell. The area had been subjected to volcanic activity with lavas emitting from Arthur's Seat, Castle Rock and other volcanic centres. It was in this relatively flat coastal setting that the oil shales of the Lothians formed. The Carboniferous period was characterised by rapidly changing environments, leading to alternating layers of rock strata. These are often in regular patterns, repeating the same sequence of rocks. Alright, there's a lot of information on shale. A lot. I'm going to add in a little picture from the website now. There you go, it saves me getting a dry mouth talking wordy things. But you know, I'll add in a little bit from the website here and there as we walk on, but you know, pictures say 1,000 words. Right, so as you can see on my map, we've passed the first 3 pit stops. We're about here coming into Broxburn. And just following the canal round. There's a nice bridge. Everything smells amazing and springy, summery. Oh, you really do appreciate it after a wet winter. There's a few cyclists along here. Maybe I should have cycled the trip. What do you reckon? Should I have cycled it? This is 13.5 miles, don't know where to though. So when I was in the Polbeth, I think it was, I learned all about James Paraffin Young, who's a big part of the Shale Trail. So I thought, right, okay, let's go back on the page, let's go back and find out more about the Shale Trail. So in the UK, we use 63 million gallons, or nearly 300 million litres of oil a day. That is a lot of oil. Just try to picture how many 1 litre bottles are needed for that a year. Most of this is used for transport, both our own cars, heavy lorries, bringing us food and things we buy, air travel and moving us around the world. And James Young is at the beginning of the oil boom. I kind of brought this up in my episode about the sort of, not the catastrophe of oil, because it has powered industry, it's powered capitalism, and it's powered all the advancements in technology that we have today that seemingly make life better. So you know, there's lots of things we can question about the past, but also we must appreciate, you know, the things as the time, the conditions people were living in, the desperation, the starvation, the coldness, all of these things that we take for granted today when we look back in history and judge people. So yeah, I always have that in my head. Anyway, almost 170 years ago, at the time when London to Edinburgh West Coast line was just completed, coal was the fuel of the Industrial Revolution. But oil was needed for lighting and increasingly for industry to keep the machines running. James Young, a chemist working in coal mining, noticed oil dripping from the roof of a coal mine. He thought there must be a way of producing oil from coal. So, just like a spark of an idea, and that's how it begins. All of a sudden, you know, James Young is saying, how can we benefit from this? How can we make our lives better and everyone around us better? I believe that was the initial goal. Of course, now we know more about what oil does in producing CO2 into the atmosphere, but at the time they didn't know this. Anyway, preach and done. We'll get back into the story of the Shale Trail, but for now let's just enjoy the walk. That's Broxburn football pitch in there. I'm pretty sure I came past it when I came to Broxburn. Again, like Winchburgh, it was about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. So it's at the back of my brain now. Maybe need to revisit that episode. Maybe you should revisit those episodes whilst you watch this one. Just stop this one, go back and watch that one, and then come back and watch this one. Or not. You do what you want to do. You should probably subscribe to my channel or become a patron, like my patron legends whose names are coming up the screen. They are the official sponsors of my Shale Trail adventure, and because of them I'm going to enjoy a chip shop tea at some point. There's a rabbit, a Shale Trail rabbit. Can I get an interview? How do you feel about the Shale Trail? No comment from the rabbit. Because one big feature of the Shale Trail, of course, is nature. You're walking through it right now. The canal, You know, the trees, everything. You can hear the bird song. You know, nature is all around us, and a huge part of this trail, as much as the people and the shale industry itself, it all comes together to create what this Shale Trail is all about. Here we are, Union Canal. This bridge is number 27 bridge. Why is it number 27? This is one thing about this trip so far, that there's numbers but no context behind the numbers, just numbers. Well, I remember this bit. I think this is where I'm going to have my chippy tea here, up here. It's about 5:30 now. There we go, Shale Trail, allowing us to see, but you can't see it because the glare of the sun. How ironic. Light from the earth, well, the light from the earth allowing us to see, or not see in some sense, being it as the Shale Trail sounds. This is where first sniff of chippy, I'm there. This last bit of the walk has hungered me out. There's a couple of swans bullying a duck. Go on, duck. Oh, it's protecting the baby swans. Ah, deja vu. Memory alert. I remember starting my Broxburn episode here. Again, I was naive about the Shale Trail. I knew nothing about the Shale Trail then, and now I know things. I want a longboat. So this is Port Buchan. Oh look, there's a longboat coming along. Oh aye. There we go. We've got a little bit of Shale Trail. We are the boys from the Holy Gate. We are the boys you know. We make a show wherever we go. We are the boys that everyone knows. Give honour to the Holy Gate boys. Give honour, Jew. For we are the boys from the Holy Gate, and we're willing to fight for you. Shale pit number 5. See these houses? They're like the houses we've seen at Winchburgh right at the start. Constructed in rows with 1 or 2 rooms in each home. Sloping fields for mines. This sort of reference from going from becoming farmers, moving into the industrial revolution where oil is going to power the world, power industry. And here we are right in the heart of it in Broxburn, where I'm going to get a chippy and take a wee break from the trail. Right, we're officially off the Shale Trail and we're heading into Broxburn High Street in search of a chippy. I don't know about any chippies in Broxburn. I was born in Broxburn. If you watch that episode, as I said to do earlier, you'll know that I was born here, well outside here, never lived here. But on my passport it says born in Broxburn. So I'm going to have my first chippy here. I'll just stop at the first one I see. If it looks dodgy, I'll walk out. Success. Cheers, living the dream. This is going to a wee bit. Gingerman, unveil your sausage. Couple of big sausages there, like. I never really like filming myself eating. It's a strange thing. It's tasty though, it's good. I wish you'd put a little bit more salt on it. And I didn't ask for sauce like an idiot. Anyway, I think whilst eat it, I'll cut to a drone sequence of the last bit of the walk. Enjoy. Righto, I've finished my dinner, had this drone up, got back in my car and I have found another strategic location. I think I'm in Uphall, but I'm on a nice woodland part of the Shale Trail. So I'm just going to take in this next section. The sun's dulled, it's about 7 o'clock now. So I'm going to have a wee walk along here. And I've got my wee coffee thing to make a coffee, so I'm going to have a coffee. And we'll talk more about the Shale Trail. So, as you know, I was talking about Paraffin Young earlier, and we're in his territory now. Young patented his method of heating coal in a retort furnace using particular type of coal found in Bathgate, Cannell coal, to produce oil vapour, which was collected for refining. The Bathgate Chemical Works was one of the first commercial oil works in the world. When the supply of the Cannell coal ran out, Young moved to using shale, setting up Addywell Refinery in 1863. To feed the refinery, mining needed to produce a constant supply of oil bearing shale and coal as well. West Lothian was transformed into a network of mines, railways and villages built to house the people who flooded into work in this new industry. Just imagine how this place looked. Would it have been a fog of industry all around here? And look at it now, luscious nature. It is really fascinating because before I started doing all of this, I knew nothing about James Paraffin Young and the history of the shale industry. And here I am, across the Forth, into West Lothian, and my eyes are opened. It really has been a journey of learning, and it's nice walking back over these parts that I've been through before. I guess what we have now is we still have the railway running through this area. We also have a motorway. I think this here's the M8. We're crossing under the M8. Just standing under the M8 right now, right above me. Don't think about it. It's always a good sign to see this, because you know you're definitely on the Shale Trail. Trapped, captured in stone. Oh, wait, go this way. Armoured layered scales. Half the time I don't know what they're talking about, but they're nice big wooden poles with QR codes on them, so I'm all about it. I'm just letting myself walk, following the path, the signs now. What size are these? Huge! I'm at that point where I'm looking around the corner, seeing what's up ahead now. But it's nice, I'm in amongst the trees where I love to be, on the Shale Trail in Scotland. If you want to do the Shale Trail, you should do it. It is a sort of, I guess, it feels quite naturally, a lot of it is quite naturally, but I guess you could call it's an urban walk. But it's a nature urban walk. Because look where I am right now. Although, the noisy M8 is just right there. Can't wait to get away from that. What would make this part of the walk a little bit more exciting though is a tree swing. It's been a while. Remember when I met a time traveller on the 5 Pilgrims Way? That was one of my favourite memories ever on Gingerman, because he played the harp. He was walking on the Pilgrims Way with a harp. Anyway, I'm saying that as I walk along here, I'd love to meet a time traveller or a ghost playing some sort of old-fashioned instrument, just have a wee moment together. Probably shite my pants, but it's all good. For me, if you're going to do any sort of day walking in Scotland, April, May is the time to do it. Just depending on when the sun comes, but when the sun hits first in spring, the proper sun in the proper spring, get walking. Because sometimes the summer can get a bit too humid and midgy filled. In the winter, that's dangerous, but I love the winter. I love the winter. But yeah, if you're coming from abroad, I would say come about then. Obviously, if you can't come then, you know, you might want to come in the summer or whatever, but for me it's prime. It's prime time for the chill weather, the perfect weather, like today. There's a plane spilling oil all over my lungs here, flying over my head somewhere in the clouds. This section is right on the path to Edinburgh Airport. There's a lot of sort of misty cloud coming in from when I started this, maybe about 4 hours ago, when it was sunny. I can remember it like it was 4 hours ago. I hope I don't run out of light before this video ends, because the weather has changed pretty suddenly. Oh, there's a big pond here. To West Lothian Council, please add a few more Shale Trail signs on this route. That'd be muchly appreciated, thanks. And here we are, we're back on the trail. I've strategically placed myself on the outskirts of West Calder, because as you can see the sun is setting, and if I'd continued at my pace, would have been doing this into the night. Get my breath back, because I just done a bit of off walking camera there to get here. But I remember being here and I had a great time. I went right up to the Bings and I met an interesting guy. I found a tree swing. This is a really nice place here. I liked it, and it all came flooding back to me when I got here. Anyway, oh man, I'm knackered. It's actually cleared up. I thought it was going to rain. The last section of the walk got really misty. That was the part of the walk, that was the mystery part of the walk, where I didn't know where I was. It was misty. I was still full from my dinner. Whereas now, this is the pudding. This is the end, the final dish. So, I've actually been on the go since 3 o'clock this afternoon, and it is now 9:15 in the evening. So it has been a long day. I looked at the walking times and it was around about 8 hours. So by the end of this I've probably only cut off a couple hours. But it did allow me to do things like stop for a chippy. It allowed me time to get lost. Aye. Of course I would love to walk the full entire Shale Trail, but time is difficult right now, and I really want to get moving on with the next bunch of episodes to get myself to episode 300, so hence this is what we've done today. But I have enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed it so far as well. Half an hour episode, but as I say, 6 to 7 hour day for me.
Recording started.
So, the early 20th century was when Scottish oil production was at its highest, employing over 12,000 people. But competition from America and later Middle Eastern oil fields was a problem, as it was cheaper to import oil. Grangemouth Refinery opened in 1924, using expertise developed in shale oil refineries to process imported oil. The industry contracted in the 1920s, revived before the Second World War to protect oil supplies, and eventually completely closed in the 1960s. So there we go. And I guess in the span of human civilization, it's like a short blip, this shale industry that came and went, and industries today come and go. We've seen it happen with certain industries as they boom and then they bust. You know, look at the electric cars right now. They were booming, and now it's like, oh, will they, won't they? We don't know. We don't know. We just live in the present, I guess. And that's what I've tried to do today. Live in the present on the Shale Trail, whilst occasionally referring to the past, of course. As I walk into West Calder here, I just got to think about all the people, the history, the generations of families that live here now because of the shale industry. I mean, it's saying here the pull of a better life is what brought people here. Potato famine in Ireland, highland clearances, and what it's saying is as well that if you're from this area and you have an Irish surname, or you've got a Highland clan surname, well, you guess where you came from. Your family were probably farmers who came and changed the tradition of their family name to work in mines. And here we are, following that trail. Here we are. We are coming to strikes and evictions, squalor and hardship. Yeah, kind of a fitting sign, as if it knew what we were about to be talking about right at this exact moment. Because, was it a better life? It certainly shaped the history of our country and the world. You know, the Industrial Revolution, the Enlightenment that was happening in Scotland, Andrew Carnegie, Adam Smith. People were shaping this modern world that we live in today. All of the comforts we have are all on the backs of the hard work of those that came before us. Shale Trail, this way, takes us out onto West Calder High Street. The smell of a chippy, but I've already had one. I couldn't eat another one, I'd be sick. Society Place. And here we are, West Calder Cooperative Centre, end of the Shale Trail, Happy days. So, standing here in Union Square, you have the Burngrange Memorial, a lasting reminder of the cost and risks of mining. The old West Calder Cooperative Society building is a reminder of what can be done by people working together to help themselves. So in 1875, 40 shale miners started the co-op, partly so they didn't have to buy overpriced goods from shops owned by the mine and oil works owners. Model spread across the villages of West Lothian and much further afield. For me, that's one of the most lasting things to come out of the shale industry. Right, let's finish this now. Here we are, the end of the Shale Trail in Union Square, West Calder, or the beginning, depending on where you start. There it is there. As you can see, the section that I skipped, it's quite a big section actually, now I think about it, this bit. But I did loads of walking from here to here, a bit of walking down here, quite a bit of walking down here. But yeah, 60 miles is quite a bit, 8 hours, long time. I've done it in 6 hours. But I've had the best day ever doing it, and I've learned so much. I respect the people more than anything who dedicate their lives to the shale industry. There's someone there. Look at his guns. That's the sort of guns you get from working in the shale mining. Wow, Popeye arms. All jokes aside, serious respect to these guys. Anyway, I read a bit on the site that I've been reading from all day, and I think it's a nice place to end the Shale Trail on here in Union Square, if I can get it back up. The oil works and the mines and some of the villages have disappeared completely now, but shale is never wholly removed. It is in the Five Sisters, it's underfoot at the community garden, and it remains in the community of West Calder. Shale Trail, thanks for having me. Peace.
Well, it was a lovely to see you. It's the end of the show. Bring on tomorrow. Where shall we go? Where shall we go? Say goodnight to the Gingerman. One last ice cream for the bearded band. Pistachio